Welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P-Funk, thinking right out here into that. Why do what I do for you? Rocking my larger perfection gear, okay? Look at the Masonic level that I reached when I was doing my Masonic lessons. I just put the gear on every now and then because it got my pyramids on it. Okay, let's go. Rightism, 25 rules live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and appreciate you. Thank you. The numbers are good. Hope you're doing what you need to do with the lessons that I'm giving you. So let's go. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinkers win life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to attain what your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself, and all right thinkers who join the philosophy, practice it. Your goal is to know thyself in the end. So I ask the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical. But if you don't have an answer for yourself, just tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. Help you to know you. So a person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can teach them. Okay, I can enlighten them. I'm here to wake them up. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to what? Wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my be true. I went back to bring the lesson up because I'm talking about Shetaut Netjer. And this is going to take you back to the question, when was Shetaut Netjer first practiced? But the title is Right Thinkers. Let's talk about, breaking down Shetaut Netjer, the origins of the world's religion. What you mean? Let me tell you something right quick. Okay, that's the first page. Okay, this is telling you all the group that you hear about ancients before all of them. We was doing what we're doing. This is the timeline that break down, and I got one more page to show you. I like this concept right here. You see that? The spin-off at the top is Shetaut Netjer. You got your Yoruba, you got every tribe, every religious group, and they all spring off of Shetaut Netjer philosophy. So I'm going to break it down for you once again. For those who haven't been around a while, I did this a while ago. So I want to bring you back to what I do and why I do it. Okay? Let's go. Right thinkers. Let's talk about the breakdown of Shetaut Netjer and the practice of it and how long it's been around. Okay? And when was Netjerian religion practiced? Okay, that's Shetaut Netjer. We know about that. I gave you that lesson. So let's go. Now, before there was the Sumerians, the Mesopotamians, before there was the Sangali Empire, before there was the Timbuktu, before there was the Mali Empire, before there was Ghana Empire, before Islam, before Christianity, before, again, the Sumerians, before the Greek civilization, before the Roman Empire, before Hinduism, before Buddhism, before Europe, and before the United States, there was Kemet. I keep on to those who really know. Kemet, we give you that name. Egypt come from the Greeks. So again, know your history. I know my history when it comes to my Egyptian concepts. Trust me. All right. When was the Netjerian religion practiced? This is the timeline. Okay, it dates back to, you see that, 10,000 BCE. Let's start with that. No other group of people can claim being around 10,000 BCE. Again, that's the timeline. And from 10,000 to 46 BCE, You had the Egyptian religion, ancient Egyptian religion. They call it the first dynasty. Then you had the Old Kingdom. Then you had the Middle Kingdom from 3000 to 2500. And from 35 BCE on back, the Greeks had came into Egypt and took us over and allowed us to live our religious concepts. Okay, so they stole the information, twisted, turned around, presented it to the world as if it was theirs. Quick lesson. But yeah, I'm adamant about that. Why? Because that's our history. He ain't gonna tell you that part. Okay, moving on. So let's talk about the timeline. When was the Netjerian religion practiced? Question. This above timeline just showed the world religions. And in the far left, you see it starts at 10,000 BCE. We have ancient Egyptian religion in its earliest recorded history. Recorded history. We ain't talking about folklore. We're talking about recorded. Okay? This is the earliest physical evidence of ancient Egyptian religion. Again, not that it is the beginning of ancient religion, Egyptian religion. Again, I told you, we did folklore before we documented. They call Egypt the land, the library of stone. Why? Because we put it so you can't change it, you can't burn it, you can't chisel it, you can't destroy it. So it's still there for us. I went there, been there for the last 35 years and love it. But the earliest physical evidence was this. We will use this benchmark of the earliest physical evidence available. That's it. We can claim that. Why? We got facts. We got proof. Not hearsay. Not folklore. Documented. Other cultures and other spiritual traditions may say they were there 100,000 years ago or 50,000 years ago. Yeah, but however, there you go. There's what? You ready? There is no physical evidence to back it up. So what you say don't have no backup to prove it is illegitimate. It's not real. It's not authentic. It's not proof worthy. Why? You can't substantiate it. Word of mouth is inadmissible in court. That's why there's no leg to stand on. So you need proof. This is why I use this philosophy and live by it, right? Because it lets you be you, it explains how to be you, and you can manifest being you by using the lessons that you learn. That's why I'm here every day to give them to you. That's how I got them. So let's go. And now the earliest physical evidence for other spiritual traditions comes no earlier than, you ready? 7,000 BCE. So we had at least a 3,000 year head start on anybody else. Sorry about that. But this is in what? The form of artifacts, meaning we have proof. Not in the form of a complete, extensive spiritual philosophy, no. Spiritual literature with a defined ontology and epistemology, no. But this does not happen until what? Much later, coming down to, you ready? 1500 BCE. That's when they started getting the information and all the stuff and backing up. So we were doing that a long time before they found the proof and how to substantiate it. Again, the Sumerians had cuneiform little tablets, yeah, but they was just doing what? Receipts for taking care of business transactions. There was no philosophy there. So understand that. I hear y'all, oh, we started this. Y'all didn't start nothing. Moving on. So I had to get that out. I'm tired of hearing and bragging about the Sumerians. That's what I tell you. Part me down. Moving on. Okay. It ain't a competition. It's just facts. That's all. It ain't. I'm not here to compete with nobody about who. No. These are just facts. I just teach what I know. Let's go. Now, this does not. Okay, we 1500. So watch this. So all your religions, you know of in the world today, what began after that point. With the concept of God, all that came after we had already substantiated, did what we had to do with it. It was over by the time y'all got to it. I'm just saying. Moving on. So, watch this. Now, the Indus Valley culture began. They swayed the oldest. No, they only began around 2500 BCE. Instead of just making statements that you don't know, get information. You won't open your mouth and say stupid stuff. I'm going to come out my mouth with the wrong stuff while I do my homework. They came around 25 BCE. And then comes what? The Aryan civilization. Now, Aryan is the white race. Okay, they came into India, later into Asia Minor, now called what? The Middle East, whatever that is. And here you go, the Sumerians. And the Judeans came in. Then in the East, you had the Buddhists, the Taoists, down to what? The classical Greek culture. Then here come the Europeans, and you got the Hinduism, and you got India. And then you got Christianity. And finally, last but not least, pulling up the back, Islam. Stop thinking Islam is the end all be all. It's the last one on the line. And everything you got was based on everybody else before you. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. You took a whole bunch of stuff and put it together and called it Islam. So I'm not beat for thinking. And your followers are just like the Christians. You ain't no different. Understand that. So calm it down. Okay. If you live by the tenets of Islam, that's fine. Everybody ain't got to live by the tenets of Islam. You doing it, that's fine. I don't want everybody to be a right thinker. I just encourage those who want to be a right thinker. Those who want to be a Muslim, they come and become. Simple. Don't try to make nobody nothing. Moving on. This timeline gives you a graphic visual idea of how ancient that we are talking about is. A timeline to show you the difference. Calm down. Yeah. Now, we have shown through what? The research that this development in ancient Kemet is actually a perfection of what? African spiritual teachings, philosophies that you can live by. They lived in harmony amongst themselves for 5,000 years with that philosophy. The same teachings, watch this, the same teaching that you find in ancient Kemet, you find where? You ready? Generally throughout all African religions. Okay, how about that? Now, the next page I showed you is Shetaut is the origin of the world's religion. You can't make that statement without what? Proving it, backing it up, or somebody's going to call you on it. Like in the hood back in the day, you can't claim to be a badass so they ain't kick nobody's ass. When they see you do that, oh yeah, that's it. They'll tell you, you're bad at why you kiss on something. So that's again proof. Again, why is it important that you study Netjer, aka spirituality and Commission culture? It's the original. I told you, I like it because this is where it started. And from that point on, I've been chasing it and doctoring it and following it. And I know for a fact what it is now after 35 years of doing it. Trust me, I live it. I don't just teach it. I live it. I love it. Why? Because it works. I hear my students say, man, you know that right thing works. Yeah, I know. Thank you. I appreciate that. So the more who practice and try it, they're going to get the same result. Why? Father, that it worked. So if it works for us, watch this. It works for the Dogon. It worked for the Yoruba tribe, who still practicing it to this day. It worked for the Buddhists, who bit what they want to offer, the Kundalini concept. That's theirs. They love that. They live by it. Then you got the Hindu. They got their form of Egyptian concept. They follow to call it what they want. Then you got the Christians, who misunderstood the concept and wrote it, still writing to this day. Moving on. Judaism, again, came out of Egypt. Islam, the new boy on the block, think they got a toehold. But guess what? It's a few billion of y'all, so something going on good. I got over 107,000 followers. Something going good. So understand that. So let's talk about Shetaut is the what? The original of the present day world religions. They all, every religion I studied, and I studied all of them for a reason, they all got a little bit of what I know in them. So I understand it. So I have a problem with it. Again, that's why I respect religion. I understand the purpose of it. Okay? Why is it important to study Netjer or right thinking philosophy, spirituality, and the Commission culture? Because it's ours. If nothing else, it's ours, and it works for us as the people. Somebody's come in and colonize you and give you their information. Don't work for us. It's important because documented proof, again, documented proof by who? Others and myself has shown that what Shetaut, I call it right thinking philosophy, has influenced the Dogon spirituality, the Yoruba religion, Buddhism, Hinduism, and Christianity. It has influenced Christianity directly and also through what influences in Judaism. And through these influences, it has influenced Islam as well. And others have also done this. What I have done is added original research, and also I have compiled the research of other scholars as well. Again, you just can't study the Bible and tell me everything in the Bible is right, but got nothing else to substantiate it. It's only in that one book. Everything that's in that book is only there. Moving on. Christianity, again, is directly based on Netjerian religion. However, they want to admit it. But the current form of Christianity that is practiced is what is not the original. You hear me? The what y'all practicing today, the Christians, I love you and respect you, but it is not the original form of that originated in Kemet. This is the source of the problems that we have in religion today. In the Jewish Holy Scripture, aka the Old Testament, it is stated what? That they emerged from Egypt. Moses was what? An Egyptian. And the Bible says Moses was skilled in all the magic of the Egyptians. I still don't co-sign that. Why? Because if he was skilled, he would know the 42 confessions of Maya, not the 10 commandments that his Christian God gave him. Remember, he went back and forth to Pharaoh because they had the Christian God over the Egyptian God. Remember that story? So this is why Christians and Egyptians don't get along. Why? Y'all made the Christian made the Egyptians like they were slaves, y'all. No, we didn't. That never happened. That's why. So I try to break that by learning misinterpretation, misunderstanding. The Jews used Egypt to substantiate themselves. You know that story too. That's another lesson. But that's what happened. And watch this. It is understood that he is an Egyptian priest. But they said he was an Egyptian priest if he existed. This explains the varied correlation. Watch this. That can be made between ancient Egyptian religious tradition concepts and the rituals and those of what? The Jews. Why? For example, the Jewish tradition originally described God as what? Eliam, which is in general Hebrew term that is used in the Old Testament, meaning what? Any divine being. If it's just one, how could it be any? But more importantly, what? It is used frequently in reference to what? The God of the Israelites, who wanted to separate themselves and make them their own entity. That's what they did. But watch this. Actually, the term means what? Gods, with an S, plural. And goddesses. We call them Netjeru. The first one, God, singular. Netjeru is the gods. From the God, male and female aspects. We had that covered a long time ago. So y'all ain't did nothing slick. Again, God and goddesses mean plural. Okay, Eliam is plural, more than one. Implying that what? That divinity is multifaceted. The Jewish term Eliam is correlated to the Netjerian ancient Egyptian religion term as what? Netta, like I told you, which means what? God, singular. Netters manifest as what? Netjeru, meaning more than once, which Eliam, or gods and goddesses. Again, everybody using the concept that we started and not giving us the credit for it, which isn't a big deal, but you can't say you didn't get it from us. The Jews developed a philosophy. Watch this. They developed a philosophy. They didn't adopt ours. They didn't take ours. They developed a philosophy. Understand that, Christians? Watch this. Of what? A devil. Here we go. Here's where this guy y'all call the devil, we call it ego. We call it the set. We know who it is. Y'all developed another concept. What? To substantiate that negative action and blame it on somebody other than yourself. We knew that every individual, when they didn't act Maya, when they did what they wanted to do, it's fed. That means chaos, do themselves. They was not serving God, so they became what? The opposition to God, which the definition becomes devil. So humans are devils whenever they go against God. Simple. Moving on. There's no devil per se. We create him. Y'all developed him. Watch this, the concept as a rival to who? God. We knew that in order to have God, you got to have opposition. That's Apophis. We call God like the indented floor, black and white. You'll always see black and white. Why? They say good and evil. I say good and evil. Go to the darkness. Why? That's where you come from. If God had to say, let there be light, that means we must have been in darkness. If we was in light, he said, let there be darkness. See the concept? Understand that. It's philosophical, foolproof. Okay? You can express it, you can defend it, and justify it. So you can make any argument you want against it. You won't win. Moving on. Now, prior to the development or the creation, there was no such model in ancient religions. No God, no evil, no. We knew it was like chaos. We knew opposite of good was bad. Christianity later was this. They later adopted what? That concept of what? A devil, since they adopted the Old Testament as the starting point of their religion. Understand, I'm just giving you information. I ain't telling you nothing other than what I know about what it is you don't know about. So I'm enlightening you. That's all. Moving on. Now, the ancient Egyptian god we call Set, again, represents what? Egoism. That's the I. That's the you. You identify with. He's not going nowhere, and he's on his job 24/7. Sound like the devil, don't it? Lower desires. That's the human part of you. Your chaos. We call it chaos and negativity. Set is the divinity from which many scholars, watch this, including myself, believe that the early Jews confused and they developed their concept of Satan. Satan, Suchuan, all that. No, God made up something. Actually, one of the names of Set, watch this, is Setek. Okay, Sutek and what? Satan is starting to change or familiar. Why? Because that's what it morphed into. This idea of a devil, watch this, was a new concept in spirituality. Why? That emerged with what? Judaism and a few other traditions such as Zoroastrianism. Other Jewish traditions adopted from ancient Egyptian culture include the tradition of what? The threefold daily worship based on what? The Anuian theology of ancient Egypt. God rise in the morning. He's Kepri, sunrise, high noon, he's Ra. Going down, he's Tim. That's the threefold God worship. You worship 3 times a day, morning, noon, and night. The Muslims do the same thing. That's where they adopted it from. They didn't create it. They didn't make it. They adopted it. And those who develop, didn't adopt. They make something other than what was already there. Moving on. Now, the tradition of bathing the body of the deceased before burial, the concept of monotheism, and the precepts of what? Righteous, ethical action, 10 Commandments, all come from ancient Egyptian concepts. There are several direct correlations, watch this, between what? Between the Christianity and the ancient Egyptian traditions. Why is that? Accident? I don't think so. These adoptions are what? Attested to be the early Christian writers and scholars who admit the co-option of the ancient Egyptian and Greek symbols and traditions and some of what? Their philosophies in order to what? To attract the followers of what they termed pagan traditions. In essence, non-Orthodox Christian tradition. I mean, if it wasn't what they practiced, it wasn't right. Sounds familiar? To the new religion, here you go. But remember, Christianity at one time was a new religion, but now if you ain't practicing what they want, you're a pagan and you're going to be what? Taken out. Moving on. So, to a new religion, Orthodox Christianity, what's this? While all the correlations between ancient Egyptian religion and Christianity are what? Too numerous to include here. It's too many, right? But the most important ones will be what? Briefly described. Here we go. The Orthodox Christians adopted the ancient Egyptian winter solstice celebration of the birth of the what? The Netjerian god we call Haru, which birthday is December 24th. Oh no, that's my birthday. December 25th. Now, as the birthday of what? The Christian Savior, Jesus. Y'all adopted that. Y'all didn't create that. Again, concept. Other adoptions were include what? The concept of resurrection. This is the one you got wrong. The Eucharist. Okay? That's you and God becoming one. That's becoming you become Christ conscious. You becoming one with God, your higher self. You became anointed. You have knowledge. You became conscious of God. You've been you reach nihas, okay? You know thyself. All those are terms that happens. And watch this. Y'all call it the Eucharist. Y'all stole the cross, the Trinity, excuse me, the mother and child iconograph, the Madonna, okay, Mary and Jesus. The concept of what? Anointing the Christ. Y'all dunking people in baptism. It's just a little sprinkle of water. It signifies purity. And what's this? The priest, what's this? The priest, the perception of Jesus, excuse me, persecution, excuse me, the persecution of Jesus upon what? His birth. And the concept of, again, baptism. These all are what? Fundamental Christian concepts. I just did church yesterday. We did the first Sunday where we did the communion. And the Eucharist. The blood and the wine. The blood is Jesus is the wine. The bread is the body. Is that not cannibalism? Is that not paganism? I'm just putting it out there. Moving on. According to your rules, not mine. Now, the concept of baptism. And these are all fundamental Christian concepts and symbols that's in use today. Right now. You still do it. I did it yesterday. Didn't partake. Moving on. Which were in existence previously where? In ancient Egyptian African religion, some of which contain some of the original what? African Netjer values such as what? Our books. We got a book called The Mystical Journey from what? From Jesus to Christ and the African origins going on to more details. I got more books. I got more explanation for you in this lesson. I'm going to end right now. And in closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100 and me 100 minus a day. So I never know that right thinker like you who passed away. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. Shetaut Netjer is the original religion. That's ours. It belongs to us. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. I'm out.